Hello guys, it's Danny and I'm back again with another video. Today I will be glamming my little sister. To start off by priming the face, I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs Undercover Coconut Face Primer. As an additional option, I'll be taking my MAC Fix Plus spray and I'll be spraying that all over the face just to make it a bit more tacky. Today I'll be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in the shade Creamy Natural, and I'll just be dotting that all over the face and blending it in section by section. To blend the foundation out, I am using a makeup sponge instead of a brush because with a brush, most of the coverage stays on the face, but with a sponge, it blends out and you get just a tiny bit less product. And because my sister is so young, she doesn't have that many imperfections on her face and she doesn't need that much full coverage from this foundation. For the concealer, I'll be using the Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer in the shade Very Fair, and I'll just apply that under the eyes. And to set the concealer, I'll be using the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Translucent. As you can see, I am working with one section at a time and not applying concealer to both sides, because what this will do, this will cause the concealer to crease and make your under eyes look wrinkly. So I work with one section at a time, blend it out, set it, and then I continue on to the next one. Going into my Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette in the shade Dulce De Leche, I'm going to be taking the contour shade and I am going to be applying that in a number 3 shape from the forehead, down the cheek, and under the jawline. Now taking that same contour shade, I'm going to take a large eyeshadow brush and I'm just going to run that down the sides of the nose to sculpt it down and make it look just a slight bit thinner. Now using the highlighting shade, I'm going to take that under the eyes and down the sides of the nose and down the bridge of the nose. What this will do, this will help redefine the contours and bring the light that we may have lost with blending out the darker shades. For the brows, I will be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Soft Brown. Since this product is a gel, I like to use a thin angled brush or an eyeliner brush because it helps me get a thin line to really define the brows and then fill them in really easily. Then going back in with my Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer, I'm just going to take that on a small brush from e.l.f. and I'm going to use that to carve out the brows. Now using a blending concealer brush, I buff that concealer in to make the transition from the concealer to the foundation seamless. Afterwards, I'm just using a large fluffy powder brush and brushing away all of the excess highlighting powder. Now using the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, I'm just going to apply that over the eyelids and just a tiny bit under the eyes. Now going into my Colourpop You Had Me at Hello palette, I'll be dipping into the shade 2 Peas for my transition shade. And now using a large crease blending brush, I'll apply that to the crease and just slightly under the eye. Now going into my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny palette, I'll be dipping into this gorgeous orange shade called Charm, and I'll be using that same crease brush and I'll be going over the transition shade just to add a slight bit more color to it. Going back in with the Androgyny palette, I'll be going to the shade Dominatrix and I'll be applying that to the outer bit of the crease and then I'll be blending it out throughout the rest of the crease. I like to apply it with a small brush and then blend it out with a larger brush with that orange shade from before to make sure the blend is beautiful. Using that same dominatrix shade, I'm going to smudge that over top of the orange that we had put under the eye. Again with the Colourpop palette, I'll be taking this beautiful gold color called Fool's Rush, and I'll just be applying that all over the eyelids. You can wet your brush just a tiny bit to make the color more metallic and applied like liquid metal, and that's what I did to make the payoff more pigmented. Now using the shade Frosting from the Androgyny palette, I'm going to take a small eyeshadow brush that is slightly fluffier, and I'm not going to wet it, but I'm going to apply it to the center of the lid to help create just a tiny bit of light and contour out the eye beautifully. I'm also going to be applying it to the center underneath the eye and help create that halo effect. Again, going back in with the Colourpop palette, I'm going to be using the shade The Knot, and I'm going to use that to highlight underneath the brow and in the inner corner. Going in with the Covergirl Ink It eyeliner in the shade Cocoa Ink, I'm just going to apply that to the waterline. Now using the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Tip Eyeliner, I'm going to use that to create a cat wing eyeliner. For lashes, I'm going to be using the Ardell Mega Volume number 250 false eyelashes, but before applying false eyelashes, make sure to do 1 to 2 coats of mascara. Of course, you're not going to get the perfect application of your lash when you try and use your hands, so make sure to have a small pair of tweezers to adjust it into place. Now using my MAC lipstick, Velvet Teddy, and my Maybelline lipstick in the shade White Gold, I'm going to start off by taking Velvet Teddy and applying that as the base lipstick. And then using the shade White Gold and applying that into the center. Keeping it with the gold theme, I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade Molten Gold and applying that to the cheekbones, above the brow, down the bridge of the nose, and on the cupid's bow. And you can add just a tiny bit to the chin. And that's the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed.